thank you for joining me today. I'll be doing a little waking up practice this morning, stretching out our bodies to provide space to breathe deeply, doing a little bit of work to get that breath and energy going, and then finishing off with a couple more deep stretches so we feel ready to face the rest of the day. No props are required. If you like to use a strap to stretch your legs, you might like to have one handy, but not required. If you like to use blocks or blankets or anything else that makes your practice better, please feel free to incorporate those. When you are ready, you're going to come to lie down on your back. I'll start off with a little side stretch here this morning. So you just come all the way down to the floor. Take a moment to get yourself comfortable, and then extend your legs to the bottom of the mat. First here, just relax your shoulders. Feel your shoulder blades settling against the floor. Relax your jaw. And let go of any tension in your belly. Relax your fingers and your toes. And begin to feel your breath. It's not terribly important what your breath is doing here. It's just that you're tuning into it. You're beginning to notice it a little bit. You consciously note that you are breathing in and breathing out. Start to direct a little bit more space into the right side of the body. You're going to lift up your left foot and just move your left foot maybe 6-8 inches or so over to the left edge of the mat. Then you're going to lift up your right foot and move it also over to the left. And you can put your right foot next to your left foot, or you can cross your right ankle over the top of your left ankle, and you might already feel a nice bit of a tug on the outer hip, a little stretch in the waist. You can reach your arms up overhead and you can see if that feels deeply stretchy along the right side. Or if you like to go a little further, inchworming your torso over towards the left to keep stretching the right side of the body. I like to catch my right wrist with my left hand and even add a little stretch into the arm by drawing the right arm over to the left. Wherever you are, make sure that you're not going so far that you're rolling onto your left side. Your right shoulder blade is still on the floor. You're still relaxed here. Shoulders, jaws, and hips. Now you just feel a gentle opening on the right side of the body. And you begin to breathe again into it. Now see if you can notice what happens on the right side of the body as you breathe in and out. increased sensation. Or you can move back towards the midline if it gets a little too intense. As you're ready, take a deep breath in. You're going to inchworm first your torso back to the center line if you came over to the left. And then release your hands back down by your sides. Move your right leg back to the center line and your left leg back to the center line. And just take a moment here. Maybe let your arms fall open to experience the difference between that nicely stretched right side and the as yet unstretched left side. When you're ready, you can go over with your right leg towards the right edge of the mat. And the left leg follows along. Feel free to cross the ankle or not. See what feels good to your hips and your tailbone. Maybe you lift your arms up overhead. Maybe you inchworm your body over to the right. So you're creating this banana asana or crescent shape over towards the right to elongate the left side of the body. You can again catch your wrist, that's your left wrist this time with your right hand, so you can give a little extra pull of the left arm over to the right. Again, being mindful that the shoulder blades are on the floor. Everything is relatively relaxed here. You're putting yourself into this shape, but it's not a shape that is like super strenuous to hold. We're holding here for several minutes, and that's what gives us the intensity, not so much that it has to be uber intense the first moment that you do it. Breathe into the left side of the body. Remember, you can always change position if you need to. Notice where you feel the deepest level of stretch. Is it the outer thigh, the hip, side of the waist, the armpit, everywhere? What happens to those deeply stretched areas when you breathe in? Even as you're opening up this left side, you're still softening the left shoulder blade. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you can begin to bring yourself back to the center line. First the torso, and the arms back down, and the legs back in. And again, take a few few breaths here. You can kind of let your feet fall open. You can let your arms come open to the sides and just enjoy that space at the outer edges of your body. When you're ready, you're going to draw the soles of your feet in. And then hug your knees one at a time in towards your chest. Maybe you want to rock a little bit from right to left just to get your low back to feel comfortable here. And then when you're ready, you're going to take your knees over to the left side into a twist. And I like to stack my knees. That feels really good for my body. Feel free to unstack your knees or straighten or bend your legs in a way that feels really good. So now you feel that same outer area of your body, but it's twisting over to the side a little bit. A different sensation there in your lower back, in your shoulders. Inhale, bring your knees back to the center line. And on an exhale, you'll take them over to the right now. And again, you just want to feel some nice sensation through the length of your spine as you twist. Begin this awakening class just by creating space in the body for what we're going to do next, giving ourselves a nice stretch out. To the center line again. You can hug your knees into your chest. If you are using a strap and you like to put a strap over your thighs, over the balls of your feet instead, you can do that for happy baby. When you're ready, you can turn the soles of your feet up to the sky. You can hold the feet, the calves, the ankles, or use the strap. Whatever feels good. Bringing your knees towards their respective armpits as you rock a little bit. Think about guiding your thigh bones, guiding your femurs into the hip sockets. So they're coming a little bit down towards the bottom of the mat and down towards the floor. And then when you're ready, gather those knees back in. You could rock side to side and then use your hands to press yourself up to seated, or you could catch behind your thighs and rock a few times forward and back. 3 or 4 times, side to side or forward and back, just massaging the spine in the way that feels best to you. It's not terribly important which one you do, but it is important that whichever one you do feels actually good. And then go ahead and bring yourself to either a cross-legged seat at the front of your mat or sitting with your knees tented or your legs extended in front of you. You can see what feels more comfortable. If you're crossing your legs, just know which leg is in the front. Relax your shoulders. Bring the center of your chest forward as you breathe in. And then roll your chest back as you breathe out. Inhale, you find cow pose. Exhale, you find cat pose. Maybe you add some arms. Inhaling to open the arms, bringing the elbows back towards the back of the mat. Exhaling to round forward, bringing the elbows close to one another. Moving at the range of motion and the pace that feels good to your body. Last one like this. This time open your arms up over your head. You're going to extend your right leg out to the side here. Your left foot folds in, so if you were sitting with your legs in front of you, you'll have to adjust a little more. Inhale, bring your arms up. As you exhale, fold over to your right. You can place your hand on your foot or on your leg somewhere, going to that little side bend again. Maybe opening the arm a little bit back towards the back of the mat until you feel your armpit and you feel that point where you just can't quite go any further, wherever that happens to be. And then fold down, reach your left hand towards your right foot. So now maybe you feel the back of your rib cage a little more. If the hand and the foot connect, that's fine, but they certainly don't have to. And then open everything back up again as And as you exhale, come back to the center line. If you were sitting cross-legged, you're going to cross the other foot in front. If you were sitting in a more symmetrical position, come back to your symmetrical positioning. As you inhale, rock the center of the chest forward. As you exhale, rock back. Inhaling, shoulders pull towards one another. Exhale, the shoulder blades separate away from the back. And you can accentuate that with the arms, really pulling the inner edges of the shoulder blades towards one another. And then really separating them apart, away from the muscles of the back. Shoulders come down as you inhale, and then they can round forward a little bit as you exhale. Last one like this. And as you inhale, you open your arms up. This time you're going to extend your left leg out to the side. You need to move as I do on your mat to make sure you have space. Go for it. Reach your arms up again and lean to your left. Stretch the right side of the torso. And then maybe pull that right arm a little further back, just as far as you need to go to feel that deep stretch. And then you fold down and you reach the right hand towards the left foot, maybe kneading, maybe not, just so you feel your back ribs, the space behind your heart stretching a little more. And then you open everything up again as you breathe in. As you breathe out, you come back to the center line. Now bring the soles of your feet together, little Baddha Konasana, making sure both of your sits bones are equal against the floor. Feel free to sit up onto a prop if that makes this more accessible to you, and then fold forward, feeling maybe your inner thighs, the backs of your hips. You're free to walk your hands forward if you want to, or to keep them in. If you happen to have a prop, feel free to use it. You can place your forehead or your hands on a block. Nice sturdy water bottle works well. You can always accessorize this pose. Maybe you even sway a little bit from right to left here. If your forehead's on a block, you can just roll your forehead from side to side. Take another deep breath here. And on your inhale, walk everything back into the center line. Roll your shoulders back, gather your knees in, and make your way to standing at the front of your mat. Take a moment to spread your toes nice and wide. Get your feet a comfortable distance apart for your own hips. And bring your arms up as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, fold forward. Forearms could go to the thighs, hands to a block or anywhere else on the legs, so you can dangle. Keep your knees soft. Feel your spine starting to lengthen out. Maybe even moving a little bit again, like in the Baddha Konasana, side to side with your torso to find some space. Spread your toes wide. Spend a couple deep breaths here. On your next inhale, you're going to straighten your legs a little bit as you lift up halfway. Spine may be roughly parallel to the earth. Hands can come to the shins or the thighs, or a prop. As the legs grow straight, you reach the crown of the head forward. As you exhale, come back forward. Maybe your knee bend is a little less deep, so you start to feel your hamstrings stretching, the backs of your thighs stretching. Inhale, straighten the legs, halfway lift. Exhale, little bend in the knees as you fold. I'm going to repeat that 3 more times. Your own pace, your own range of motion. Maybe your knee bend is really deep, so your legs just get a little straighter and they stay bent the whole time. Maybe you're quite flexible here, and your legs are very straight eventually as you fold forward. 1 more breath. And then this time, keep your knees bent, press into your heels, and roll slowly all the way up to the sky. Heavy arms. We're walking the hands on the thighs for support. Roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Roll your shoulders back. Let your palms turn forward as you breathe in. As you breathe out, relax your shoulders. Inhale, sweep your arms up over your head. Press your palms together, and as you exhale, fold, sticking your buns out behind you. Inhale, find halfway lift. As you exhale, plant your hands down. You're going to step your right foot or your right knee back to the back of the mat, and then your left foot or your left knee back to the back of the mat, downward facing dog. Linger here for a moment, adjusting. You can walk your feet in or out. If you're in table pose with the knees on the floor, think about setting your knees under your hips and your hands under your shoulders. And then move around a little bit. It can be cow-cat shaped if you're in that table. It could be pedal-y or sway-y if you're in your downward facing dog. And then all you're going to do here is take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, walk or step back to the front of the mat. Back to your forward fold, soft knees as you're breathing out. As you inhale, maybe a little more straightness in the legs as you find halfway lift. Exhale to release. And then inhale, maybe a big breath this time brings you to the sky. You might even sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, let your hands come in front of your heart. Inhale, bring your arms overhead. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Just maybe a little straightness in the legs. Exhale, plant the hands, left foot or left knee back. Right foot or right knee back, table or dog, and again, move around a little bit. Maybe you like to lift and lower your legs, and that works in your downward dog or your table pose. Just starting to warm up the backs of the thighs a little more. Any movements that feel pleasant, and stretchy, and opening. We're going to start to get a little more vigorous here, so enjoy this stretchy place for another moment or two. Finishing off whatever you're working on. And then walking or stepping, or if you feel frisky, hopping up to the front of the mat again. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. As you inhale, roll up to the sky. As you exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, half lift. Half lift. Inhale, arms up. I'm way ahead of myself. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, now it's actually half lift. As you exhale, plant your hands, right foot or right knee back. Left foot or left knee back, table or downward facing dog. Now on your inhale, pull forward to your plank, shoulders over the wrists. On your exhale, knees come to the floor and you lower all the way down. Inhale, drop your hips, lift the center of your chest, find your cobra, pressing the tops of your feet into the mat. And then exhale, release, tuck your toes, press back, table or downward facing dog. You're going to take one full deep breath here. And with the next inhale, you're going to float your right foot to the sky. You're going to bend your right knee, stack your right hip on top of your left, and you can be doing this in your downward facing dog or in your table pose. As you exhale, square your hips. Your right foot is still reaching out behind you. As you exhale, step your right foot back to the front of the mat. Bring your left knee, if it's not already there, to the floor. Roll your shoulders back, press into your right heel, and lift up into your lunge. Hands to thigh, hips, or arms to sky. Maybe you lean a little forward, stretching the front of your body, taking your shoulders back. Inhale here. As you exhale, fold forward. Maybe your hands come a little bit in front or onto a prop in front of your foot. Lift your back knee up and step up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands down. Step your left foot or your left knee back. Right foot or right knee back, table or dog. Inhale to plank. You could do again your high plank. Or you could do your low plank. Exhale to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog or again cobra. Exhale, table or downward facing dog. Taking a deep, full breath here. With the next inhale, the left foot floats, and then you bend the left knee, stack the left hip on top of the right for your scorpion pose. Inhale, square your hips. Exhale, step the left foot forward to the front of the mat. Bring the right knee to the floor. You can untuck the toes if that's more comfortable. Press into the left heel and lift up into your lunge. Hips go forward perhaps. Maybe if the arms come up, the shoulders go a little back. you exhale, fold forward, maybe the hands a little bit in front to give you space. Back toe tucks, back knee lifts, step up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to roll up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, folding. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Right foot or right knee steps back. Left foot or left knee steps back. You can stay right here if you like, or you can join me in your half vinyasa. Inhale into plank. Knees up or down, your choice, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra or upward dog, or if you like, elbows on the floor, sphinx. Exhale to release, toes tuck, press back, table. Downward facing dog. We're gonna go straight into our three-legged table or dog, so inhale the right leg up. Exhale, bend the right knee, stack the right hip on top of the left. Inhale, square the hips. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Place your right hand on the outside of your right foot. Feel free to use a block. Turn your left foot to face the long edge of the mat. Free your left hand from the floor, reaching it up to the sky as you breathe in. And then come all the way up with your torso, setting up for warrior two. Heel of front foot in line with arch of back foot. Relax your shoulders, settling your right knee roughly above your right ankle. Inhale here, turn your right palm to face the ceiling. As you exhale, fold to the back of the room, left hand to left thigh. Reversing your warrior. Relax your shoulders. Inhale to the center. As you exhale, right arm to right thigh, left arm reaches up, or maybe a little bit over your head. Squeeze your inner thighs together to keep you stable here. Inhale, come back to the center line. As you exhale, you're going to straighten your right leg, turn your right toes more to a 45-degree angle. So I'm still facing the right front corner of the mat and adjust as we go here. You can see if that feels comfortable, if you need to change it. You can turn your left toes out a little bit too if you want, and then you're going to bend your left knee. Bring your hands onto your left thigh and sit into a little bit of a skandasana. Some people like their feet to be facing the long edge. Some people like a little angle. I'm a little angle out. And you can stay right here. Or you could bring your hands towards the floor. Or you could drop your hips towards the floor, rotating your right foot towards the sky. So you're coming towards the back of the mat here in this inner thigh stretch. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale. As you exhale, you need to lift up. You lift your hips a little bit, and you're going to release your hands to the floor. Walk all the way back towards your right foot. Turn your right foot to face forward. Turn your left foot to face forward, framing your right foot with your fingertips. Bring your left knee to the floor. You're going to come back to your low lunge on an inhale, pressing into the right heel. Maybe your arms come to the sky. Maybe your hips move a little forward. Inhale here. As you exhale, right hand to right thigh, left hand to the floor or to a prop. Twist over now to your right, shrugging your right shoulder back. If you like, you can bring your right arm to the sky. I'm quite partial myself to lining my right arm up over my left leg so I get a little more in the inner shoulder. Inhale. Come back to the center. Again, maybe think about bringing your fingertips a little bit in front of your front foot. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, and step up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, roll all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands come in front of the heart. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, plant your hands. Step the left foot or the left knee back. Right foot or right knee back, table or dog. You can skip your half vinyasa or you can join me. Inhale, plank. Exhale to the floor. You can pick cobra or sphinx or upward facing dog as you breathe in. As you breathe out, release, tuck your toes, and lift back. Table or dog. Again, we'll go directly to scorpion. Left leg lifts as you inhale. Stack the left hip on top of the right as you exhale. Inhale to square. Exhale to step forward. Left hand to the outside of the left foot. Right foot turns to the long edge of the mat. And you lighten up on your fingertips as you reach your right arm up to the sky, windmilling to warrior two. Your gaze comes forward. Once you feel stable, as you inhale, you flip your left palm up. As you exhale, you fold to the back of the room, reversing your warrior. Again, coming into these deep side openers today, creating lots of space for breathing. Inhale to the center. As you exhale, left arm to left thigh, right arm either straight up or maybe a little bit over your head if you want that deeper side stretch on the left side. Keep your legs strong here. Drawing the drawing the arch of your back foot in and the heel of your front foot in as if you're trying to draw them in so that they would meet at the center of the mat isometrically. Inhale, come back to the center line. Straighten your left leg, adjust the angle of your feet, and bend your right knee. Hands could come to the thigh. This might be a good variation of Skandasana, particularly if your inner thighs are quite tight or your low back is quite tender. Maybe you like to go a little further, bringing your hands to the floor. Maybe you like to drop your hips down and flip your left toes up. And when you drop your hips down, you can have your supporting leg, so in this case it's your right leg, heel lifted or heel dropped. See what feels good to your body. Take a nice breath here. Feel free to let your hands come to the floor to support you. And then you're gonna lift back up if you need to and come all the way back, locking on spider fingers to the front of the room. Right foot turns to face it. Bring your right knee to the floor and lift into your low variation of lunge, shrugging your shoulders back. Maybe the arms even come to the sky. You can let the hips come forward so you're stretching the front of the body, opening it up. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, fold right hand to the floor. Left hand could come to the thigh as you twist to the hip, up to the sky, or you could do the lining up. Thinking about left arm sitting over the top of the right leg as a parallel line. Enjoy again that twisty sensation along the length of your spine. And just repeating these movements that we started our class with in an ever more vigorous fashion. Inhale, come back to the center line. Maybe the fingertips again come a little bit in front as you tuck your back toe and lift your back knee. And you step up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to roll to the sky. Exhale, hands come in front of the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, plant your hands. Right foot or right knee steps back. Left foot or left knee steps back. Option for a vinyasa or to hang out. Inhale if you like that vinyasa for it to play. Exhale to the floor. Cobra, upward dog, or sphinx as you breathe in. As you breathe out, we'll meet in table or downward facing dog. Right leg floats as you inhale. Bend the right knee, stack the right hip on top of the left. You might stay here. Or if you are like me in downward facing dog and you want to try flipping your dog, or what some people call wild thing, lift up a little bit onto the toes of your left foot. You can rock your weight a little forward onto your wrists and see if you can take that right foot all the way behind you to the floor. Lifting up, you'll have to rotate a little bit on your bottom foot on your left foot, maybe lifting your right arm to the sky. When you're ready to come back, you want to press down into the left hand, bring the right hand back, bring the left heel back to face the back of the mat. Extend that right leg up to the sky. We'll all meet in three-legged dog. And then step that right foot forward. Right hand to the outside of the right foot. Left foot turns to face the long edge of the mat. Windmill your left arm up. Warrior two. Right palm turns up as you breathe in. As you breathe out, you fold back. Reverse your warrior. Inhale to the center. Exhale, right arm to right thigh, or maybe sliding down a little closer to the floor. You can place a block on the inside of your foot if you prefer, a kind of halfway point. Now, we're gonna do this low this time. So take your left arm and reach down like we did when we were doing that side bend towards your right foot. And then as you're low, you're gonna start to straighten your right leg. Feel free to adjust the angle of your foot and bend your left knee, adjusting the angle of that foot, sweeping back. You can rest your hands on your thigh. You can rest your fingertips on the floor, or you could drop all the way back. Skandasana. As you inhale, maybe you use your hands on the floor, maybe not. Maybe you can lift up and sweep your arms back to the front of the mat, placing your hands to frame your right foot. Left foot turns to face it. This time, maybe you leave your back knee off the floor, that you can always come back to the low lunge. Press into your right heel and lift up, crescent lunge. high or low. It's perfectly fine to go back knee to the floor or to set your back heel down for warrior one if you feel quite unstable with both feet facing straight forward and back. Lift your arms up. Maybe roll your shoulders back as you breathe in. As you breathe out, fold forward, right hand to right thigh, left hand to the floor, and twist. Feel free to keep your right hand grounded or to lift it up. Shrug your shoulders back. And then folding down towards the floor. Walk your hands a little in front of your right foot. We're going into a bit of balance. So if you want to use a prop, please don't hesitate to place your hands on blocks or a block. Rock the weight forward to the right foot. Lift the left leg behind you for a little bit of a warrior three balance. Drop your left hip. Lift the pit of your belly, maybe lighten up, or even lift your fingertips away from the floor. Fly here. When you're ready, you're going to tuck that left knee in and place the left foot next to the right foot. Forward fold as you breathe out. Half lift as you breathe in. Fold again as you breathe out. And roll all the way up as you breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to keep it flowing, bringing it home on the other side. Maybe your heartbeat is a little faster, your breath is a little faster, your body's a little warmer as you inhale your arms up. And exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. As you exhale, plant your hands, left foot or left knee back. Right foot or right knee back. Table or dog, option to take that half vinyasa or to skip it. If you want it, it's inhaling to plank, exhaling to the floor. Sphinx or cobra or up dog, meeting in downward dog or table. Left leg comes to the sky. Left knee bends, left hip stacks on top of the right. You can stay right here. But if you're in downward facing dog and you want to explore further, you can always lift that right heel, rock a little forward onto the hands, almost like you're coming towards plank. But as you come towards plank, you turn your right toes to face towards the long edge of the mat, towards your left, and you drop that right foot behind you. Lift your hips. You can press into the left toes, opening your arm up. Wild thing. And then maybe you come back, press into all 5 of your right fingertips, left hand down. Left foot up as you inhale. As you exhale, we all step the left foot forward. Right toes turn to face the long edge of the mat. Lighten up now on the right hand and lift up. Warrior 2. Gaze comes forward. When you're ready, left palm flips up and you fold to the back of the mat. Reverse your warrior. Inhale, come to the center. Exhale, left arm to left thigh, or you can slide your left hand further down, all the way to the floor or to a support halfway. Squeezing the inner thighs together. Inhale to come back up. And actually stay down. A little lower. We're going to do this the low way. Take your right hand towards your right foot. So you're getting that nice deep side stretch on the right side. And then sweep your arms back. You can always walk your hands, adjusting the angle of your feet. Bending your right knee. Your variation of Skandasana. You can sit low or not. Just depends on how your hips function. Take a few breaths wherever you are. Stretchy sensation in your left leg, and of course the strength of your right leg. And then maybe you use your fingertips, maybe you feel strong today and you lift back up and you sweep your arms forward, you place your hands down, right foot turns forward. And here, you're going to see if maybe you can leave your back knee up, maybe you want to bring it down again and repeat what we did in the first couple of sets. Keeping that back knee soft, if you want to keep it lifted, inhale, lift all the way up to crescent. Relax your shoulders. You can even take your shoulders a little bit back and your tailbone a little bit down. Crescent lunge. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, you fold right hand to the floor. Left hand to the thigh as you twist to your left. Maybe you open that arm back up. Again, a little squeeze of your inner thighs together. Hugging your left hip in towards the center line. We have a nice stretch to that outer left leg. Actively be lifting your right thigh up. So instead of letting this right thigh collapse, imagine there's a little prop and you're just lifting it up towards the sky. Your hamstrings are going towards the ceiling. Strong back there in that back leg. And then folding towards the floor. The fingertips walk a little forward. Maybe you place your hands on a prop and then you rock forward. And sometimes it takes several little steps to get forward, and you bring your weight to your left foot and you lift your right foot up. Extend the crown of your head forward, and imagine that what you're trying to do is separate your belly from your thighs, lifting your belly up as much as possible, relaxing your right hip. Maybe the arms float, maybe they don't. Maybe you wobble madly on one side, maybe you wobble madly on both sides. It doesn't matter. It's the expression, the intention, the trying that counts. When you're ready, you fold that right foot in. You place it next to the left foot, and you find your forward fold. Press into the outer edges of your feet as you inhale to half lift. Exhale, release again. As you inhale, roll yourself all the way up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands in front of your heart. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. Feel your breath. Feel your heartbeat. Feel the energy coursing through your body. I hope you feel more awake and more alive. When you're ready, blink your eyes open, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. As you inhale, find halfway lift. As you exhale, heel toe your feet out wider than your hips, toes out, heels in, and start a squat. And you can stay in spider squat, walking your hands in front of you. A block is really nice here. You can come to horse squat with your hands on your thighs. That might feel quite stable. I like either of those if my hips and my lower back are feeling quite tight and tense. Sometimes I even rest my forearms on my thighs here as kind of an intermediate point. But you can get all that action of stretching out the hips without the stress of dropping the hips between the heels. If you do like to drop the hips between the heels, you're welcome to come to Malasana all the way down. Really great for the lower back if it is not already too tight and tense. Sometimes it's just a little much. You want to be a little bit higher. Maybe just the way your thigh bones sit in your hip sockets. This takes a pretty great amount of external rotation. Makes it a little higher, comfortable, more comfortable. When you're ready, you're going to come all the way down to the floor. You can sit yourself back if that's a possibility for your thighs and your hips, so you can lift up and move your legs out to the side. But you want to come to sit in the center of your mat with the soles of your feet on the floor and your knees tented. Bring your hands behind your thighs. Lift the center of your chest. Bring your belly button back. Lean back until you feel your abdominals activate. Keep your shoulders relaxed. As you inhale, lift your right foot. As you exhale, place your right foot on the floor. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. We're just slowly coming into our Navasana, our boat pose. This is also a great thing to remember when you're in class and you come to boat pose, but maybe your abdominals are very tired or your lower back is feeling very tense. This is a perfect option for a little bit more of a gentle way to activate your abdominal muscles and your core muscles. You can continue right here, just lifting and lowering. You'll already be able to feel the abdominal muscles working. You want a little more, you can lift the chest, lean a little back, lift both of your feet away from the floor, and then maybe now you tap the right foot down and lift it up. You tap the left foot and lift it up. Keep lifting your chest. Keep your belly button tucked in towards you as if it's a precious treasure. You just want to keep it deep within your body, tucking it inside. I don't want to lose that belly button. Gotta make sure it's all the way in there. Maybe if you feel quite frisky, you extend your legs just straight. And you can try lowering and lifting here. If that feels like a little much, you can always bring your hands behind you, lowering and lifting. And hopefully wherever you are, you're starting to feel a little warm. Front of your body feels maybe a little tingly or a little shaky. Maybe try one more set. And we're going to hold wherever we are. So you can hold here, Arms behind you, arms behind the thighs, knees bent, feet on the floor, lift your chest. Holding the belly button in, keeping the shoulders relaxed. You have one more breath, give it all you've got. And then release, soles of the feet come together again, and you fold back forward into that Baddha Konasana. Let it all go. Maybe move a little bit. And then walking your fingertips in. Roll your shoulders back, gather your knees in. If you like to use a strap to stretch out your hamstrings, go ahead and grab that and place it next to your hips. And roll yourself all the way to the floor. You bring your knees in if you want. Give yourself a little rock to massage your back. Feel free if you want to even come back to happy baby. That can be a really nice way to release the lower back. And then the left foot is going to come to the floor. The right leg will extend up towards the ceiling. If you'd like to use a strap, you loop it over the ball of your foot, and you extend that right leg straight up. And then you start to bring that right leg in towards you so you feel the back of your thigh. Feel free to extend your left leg long if you prefer. And don't hesitate, as usual, to experiment. You can take that foot a little out towards your armpit, or a little in, stacking it above your nose to see where do you feel the best stretch. We have 4 hamstrings, so just holding in the middle is not going to actively stretch all 4 of them to the best of their ability. Finding maybe, a little out, yeah, that feels good. Or a little in moves the stretch into another one of the hamstrings. And if you find a really good stretch, you stay. Otherwise, maybe you just move a little bit today. And then when you're ready, you're going to release a little bit of the pressure so that right leg is kind of just suspended up in the sky. No deep stretching your hamstrings. Take your strap, if you're using one, into your left hand. Extend your right arm out to the side, and you're going to cross your right leg over to the left. Now I get stuck on the wall here, so I'm just going to scooch a little bit out on my mat. And you just continue taking that right foot over to the left until you feel your outer hip stretching. Feel again the back of the leg stretching. Try and keep your right shoulder blade relaxed. If it doesn't touch the floor, that's fine, but it's going in that direction. So you have a deep twist all throughout your torso here as well. When you're ready, come back to the center. You're ready to fold your right foot in, releasing it from the strap. Place the sole of the right foot on the floor. If like me, you have to move your hips around. Bring your hips back to a center position and hug your left knee in towards your chest. Extend the left leg up, looping with the strap if you like. And then finding your stretch, drawing that left leg in towards you. Maybe adjusting so that you're not bunking yourself with the metal ends of your strap. Right leg could extend if that's preferable to your body. And again, experiment. Where do you feel the nicest stretch? Being, where does it feel the most stretchy in the best possible way? And to be honest, it will most likely be very different from side to side because we do different things. Most of us are handed. We have a dominant side. So even though we think of that as handwriting or driving, drinking, eating with our hands, our legs also are caught up in that dominant versus non-dominant side. And they do different things. They work a little differently. They often have different levels of flexibility. And it's nice to honor that and not just think that the pose should look symmetrical. Should feel symmetrically stretchy. I'm getting as good a stretch on the right as on the left. hand to your strap if you're using it. You take your left arm out and you cross that right leg over towards the left until you feel stretched. Doesn't have to be very far. Some people, their foot is going to come all the way to the floor. Just remember that the left shoulder blade is going down as the left foot comes across, so that your heart, as much as possible, is pointing upwards as opposed to over to the right. Your chest is working to stay stable as you bring your leg across, so you really enjoy the twist, not just in your hips, but in your back and your shoulders as well. You can even get your neck involved by looking over to the left, out over that arm that's extended. When you're ready, bring that leg back to the center line. Hug the left knee into the chest, setting your strap out to the side. And then draw the right foot in. Release the left foot to the floor. We're going to come into a bridge pose. So again, just make sure that your hips and your shoulders are lined up along your mat if you need to adjust at all. Take your hands down by your sides, pressing the palms of the hands to the mat. As you inhale, shoulder blades soften. As you exhale, belly button begins to pull towards the floor. Tuck it in again. And then inhale, press into your heels, lift your hips. Find your bridge position. And this doesn't have to be the most intense variation of bridge. You can keep your hips a little lower so that you can continue to see your knees here. And if you want to get a little extra stretch in your shoulders, you can hold on to the outer edges of your mat, or even take your arms underneath you, wiggling the shoulders a little underneath the body. Another deep breath. And then releasing the arms if needed. Lower the hips to the floor. Take just a moment here to rest in neutral. And then perhaps you feel ready to extend your arms and your legs out for Shavasana. Perhaps you need a little something more. Maybe it's simply drawing the knees to the chest to release the back. Maybe there's another pose or shape that you would like to add to complete your practice. Feel more than free to do so. Before making your way to your most comfortable resting place, adding any props or accessories that make relaxation more possible. And as you arrive in that resting place, again, close your eyes. And simply become aware of your breath. Perhaps now it feels a little different than the beginning of class. Perhaps your whole body feels a little different. More awake, more alive, more ready for whatever this day has in store for you. the nose if possible. Big deep sigh out of your mouth. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Eventually rolling yourself all the way over to one side to rest for a few breaths. Before making your way to your most comfortable seat today. As you arrive in that seat, bring your hands in front of your heart, relax your shoulders away from your ears. We'll close with our deep breath together, in through nose, out through mouth, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.